Okay, Assalamu alaikum, Mr. Mohsin. How are you?
I'm good, Alhamdulillah.
So you do know that this meeting is being recorded, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, great. So I'm just going to ask you some couple of questions, and you need to answer them. If you need a break in the middle, let me know. I can pause the session for you, and if there's anything else, you let me know. Okay. So are
Sure.
you ready to start?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, great. So basically, we're going to have a professional discussion, and I'm going to discuss a few units, which is assess occupational competence in the work environment, and from
Mhm.
unit three, which is assess vocational skills, knowledge, and understanding. So basically, my first question to you is can you define recognized prior learning, which is RPL, and state how it is used during the assessment process?
Okay, prior learning means we have to find out from the previous formal or informal sources what type of experience, education, or what type of achievements or knowledge the person is having. It
Yeah.
can be from experience, it can be from knowledge, it can be from any ability to perform some certain task, or
Mhm.
it can be from any type of training which she got in the past.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what RPL is. So now, can you tell me how do we use it during the assessment process?
We just have to ensure that this information which we are getting as a selection criteria is authentic from the learner side by getting some evidences like some certificates, some documents,
Mm.
or in terms of experience letters. Then we have to make sure it's valid, acceptable. We have to ensure that this information is current, like updated one, not more than 3 years old,
Yeah,
and then we have to ensure that this information is sufficient enough that it can fulfill the eligibility criteria for the qualification for which the candidate is going to register.
yeah, perfect. Okay, that's great. So how would you adapt the assessment process for learners with, physical needs or literacy difficulties or language differences?
Well, physical needs, because I'm in UAE, first of all, we are not saying the people, those who are having any physical needs, we don't say them like disabled people. This terminology is exempted and expensed from UAE law. Now we are saying them the people of determination, and there are
Yeah,
special arrangements required for them, for the people of determination, like entry from wheelchair, or any type of support, any type of need as per the disability, as per the requirements we are just providing to the people, those who are having some physical needs.
yeah. So what kind of the services do you provide? Do we have assistive technology, or do we, extend their time, scribe readers? What do you give them?
When it comes to assess their competency, yes, we can extend their time because they are having a certain disability.
Hmm.
Rest and breaks can be given. We can provide support, like if there is some nanny or some maid is allowed, or we can have some alternative methods like questioning, or we can explain them in simple words that what exactly they have to do.
Yeah. Okay. And we just need to make sure that there's also the thing is when we're looking at physical needs, we're looking at mobility issues and visual and hearing impairments. So there are lots of things that we can do for them. So okay, that's great. How about for people with literacy difficulties, for example, people with dyslexia? How do we?
For that dyslexia, we can provide some visual aids. We can also support them by simplifying the terminologies, by making it in simple English.
Hmm.
If there is some language barrier, that can also be catered by using the same language which they have.
Yeah, I have a
Then
reader for them.
rather than written, we can provide them some oral support by
Yeah,
reading the
that's
questions
great.
for them.
Yeah.
And we can also add additional time, rest breaks for them because they are having this certain disability.
Mhm. Yeah, that's great. And you already mentioned what you guys would do for language differences. So I'm good.
Yes.
So we're good for this question. Moving on, what are the benefits of standardization?
Standardization ensure that we are having a consistent approach. We are having some fair standards, like everyone is treated equally, and we are not biased on the terms of any nationality or religious convictions,
Mm.
and it help us to ensure the fair and valid assessment.
Yeah,
It enhance also the credibility of the institution which is issuing the certificate, that it's good that if we are having a standard method of assessment, and it ensures to the others that we are following a certain pattern.
yeah,
And when it comes to the professional discussion, like in between the IQA and EQA, it
mm,
also helps because of the standards that they can understand what we are talking about.
yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, I think that completes the question. Well done. Moving on to our fourth question. What processes are in place in your center for completion of the learner's qualification? Like, how do you guys do it in your center? The completion
See,
process.
this process starts from an initial assessment.
Hmm.
Once we have done that from the initial assessment to get the certificate, the phases are, the first phase is we need to just conduct the initial assessment. After the initial assessment, there will be an induction session where we can explain the learner that what exactly he's gonna get, what will be the learning outcomes, and how we
Yeah,
are gonna assess those learning outcomes, what will be the assessment criteria, on ongoing assessment on the same requirement. On the basis of those assessment criteria will be, if learner is submitting some evidences or documents, we just have to make sure that as per the standards we are checking and verifying them. If he requires some feedback on that, or learner wants to see what is the progress, if we have submitted something, and after that if there is any comments, we can just use a portal where we can just show the candidates what exactly is happening with them, at which stage they are, and what will be the next.
yeah. And then
Once
when they finally complete.
in the final, once a learner is submitting his assessment, that
Mm,
it is verified with it is checked by the assessor and then verified by IQA and
mm,
EQA, and the certificate process completes.
yeah. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's great. So we could move on to our fifth question. Wow, you're doing really well. We're moving on really fast. So with regard to regulations and good practice, what are the requirements in your center for, I'm going to say it one by one, okay? First, let's talk about equality and diversity.
In fact, we are treating everyone in equal. Either we are not just considering the facts, like in other countries we are having different. In UAE, we are having a diversified
Yeah.
people, like diversified nationwide people are here, almost 200
Hmm.
nationalities. So we cannot discriminate anyone on the basis of gender, like you're a girl, you can't do that. Or we
Yeah.
cannot discriminate someone on the basis of their physical appearance, on
Hmm.
the basis of their religious conviction, on the basis of
Hmm.
color of the skin, on
Hmm.
the basis of their prior background knowledge.
Hmm.
So equality means everyone is treated equally.
Yeah. Okay. And what about bilingualism?
Well, it's supported everywhere, not only in the organizations or educational institutions, even in the country. The signboards are also in two languages, so we need to support them.
Yeah.
Mostly, in if we talk about the UAE, here we have 200 nationalities, and even in one country, India, there are 121 registered languages. So we have to provide some aid, that either one or two standard languages are announced, and we can say that the people can understand at least one of them,
Hmm.
and we can help them out to explain, or to use the alternate language if they are unable to understand.
Yeah. And health, safety, and welfare.
Well, there is a minimum requirement for HSE, for health, safety, and environment. In UAE, we need to maintain a specific temperature. We need to follow the standards of lighting. It should be 20 lux as per that. And we have to make sure aggressions, entrance egress are safe for the people. Movement of the people is safe. Seating arrangements and all those are safe. Even
Yeah.
before conducting such type of assessments, we are using this as a housekeeping tips that in case of emergency, what they have to do, where
Yeah.
they need
That's
to,
great.
what will be the evacuation procedure, what they have,
Hmm.
where they have to call, or what will be the further procedures for that.
Yeah. Okay. It's great. What about reasonable adjustments?
Reasonable adjustments are permitted changes which we can allow to the specific conditions to specific people.
Mhm. So how do you adjust like
Like when
assessment
the
method?
learners, when the learners are having some specific needs, and we
Hmm.
are just providing that adjustment to that candidate, like helping age, assertive methods.
Yeah. Readers, extra time, scribes,
Yes,
assistive
correct.
technologies. These are all ways of doing reasonable adjustments. Yes. And I think you already mentioned that, assessment methods can be either oral instead of written for, dyslexic learners and stuff. So that's all
Correct.
part of the reasonable adjustments. Okay,
Hmm.
what about the appeals procedure in your center?
It can be informed during the induction or on the process, or it can be displayed that how the learner can appeal the
Yeah.
decision of assessor or the decision of IQA.
Hmm.
The stages can be explained to them that how they can appeal.
Yeah.
Sometimes it needs to be escalated to the awarding body as well. So
Yeah.
all these procedures and things must be
So who does
explained to
it
the
come to
candidate.
first? When the
IQA,
candidate, it comes to the IQA. Okay. And then the IQA deals with it. And if they can't, then it goes to the awarding body.
yes.
Okay. What about data protection and confidentiality?
Well, we have to ensure that all the confidential information of the candidate, including the name, numbers, and email addresses, are kept confidential. The records submitted by the candidate are not misused or used by anyone in the center. So,
Mm,
to ensure that, we just need to specify that, or we need to give a confession in the beginning that we are not going to use or misuse any information provided by the candidate.
mm, sure. And even sharing information only with the authorized staff. That's also very important and securing.
Not other than the institution
Yeah, but not even everybody in the institution, right? Only people who need it or
concerned.
have some. Yeah. What about like how do you do it online? How do you do it physically? Like how do you guys store it in your center?
Both methods can be used, but online is best storage.
Yeah, with password
Yes,
protected. Yeah. And even if there's any physical files, then it can just be in a locked cabinet or something.
yes.
So
In
yeah,
physical, there is still chance of damage, but online is more protected.
yeah, definitely. Okay, what about rules for appearance and behavior?
Well, for that, as per the qualification, the candidate must look like that. So we cannot just say that we are going to teach the people about some personal hygiene methods, but at least there must be a specific dress code
Yeah,
which is acceptable. And other than this, we can say that as per the sector of the study, it should be acceptable.
yeah. And procedures of dealing with, misconduct or inappropriate behavior. What do you guys do then?
Misconduct can be in the behavior in form of plagiarism or just using any type of approach which is not as per the requirement or standards by the awarding body.
Hmm. So what
So
happens
it
then? What
must be
actions you guys
explained.
take?
It must be explained that what disciplinary action can be taken against that.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. So everything should be set and explained to the learner before. Okay,
Yes.
yeah, that's it. We're done with question 5. We
Okay.
will move on to question 6 now, which is what are the roles of the internal and external quality assurer, and how do they affect the assessor and learner?
Okay.
Like, what are the roles of the IQA and EQA, and how do they affect, the assessors and the learners?
So first, let's come to IQA. He have to ensure that evidences provided are valid and using a consistent and fair approach. He just have to give any decision.
Hmm.
Then IQA have to ensure that assessment practices are meeting the requirements of the standards of awarding body, like whatever are the evidences provided by the candidates, they are as per the requirement. Proper feedback on their assessment, IQ have to provide. Then he have to support in terms of requirement if there is any issue in the submission or if there is any issue in any assessment criteria, it can be explained with some further comments. We have to make sure that we are maintaining the equality and we are just not biased and maintaining the quality records. We are just facilitating the candidates, those who are appearing in that qualification.
Okay, so that was IQA and EQA.
EQA, EQA, because it's external and representing the awarding body, they have to ensure that the decision of IQA is appropriate and it's not biased or it's not strict as per the requirement. Then we have to ensure that EQA is also providing their feedback on if there is any recommendation from the EQ side, they are just giving such recommendations. They can sample the different data from the learners, and using that sample approach, they can randomly pick up and check that how the assessment process is going on. If there is any claim, if there is any type of issue with the candidates, like they are appealing for something, then the EQA needs to resolve that.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So you covered how they affect the assessor and learners.
Well, learner, uh, the assessor is providing some sort of feedback and also guiding the learner about some professional development. He or she assessor, being an assessor, they have to ensure that they are improving the accuracy of the submission. They are not just pointing out or they're not just labeling it, and maybe the learner might shut back from that if the attitude of amendment is different.
Yeah.
Learner benefits from that. If you just see that if learner is not treated equally, learner is not treated fair or with a valid reasoning, uh, ultimately it's a loss to the institution as well as to the awarding body.
Hmm. And they make sure that the learners have the rights to appeal and raise concerns, and
Correct.
just help basically maintain trust and integrity in the assessment process.
True.
That's how the EQA and IQA kind of help the assessors and learners.
Hmm.
Acha, okay. Moving on. So explain how you would support a candidate who was not competent during an assessment and had insufficient evidence. How would you support that candidate?
If a candidate is submitting his assessment, and I just need to support, we can provide a proper feedback on that. That which part needs to have an
Yeah,
improvement
yeah.
specifically, and then we can also add further information that it is not as per the requirement, or
Mm,
he or she just need to resubmit it, making some necessary amendments in that.
yeah.
A proper
So
action plan can be given, like
yeah.
to make it easy for the candidate, we can break it down into smaller chunks to make it easy for that.
Yeah.
Then some additional guidance or additional support can be provided to the candidate in terms of explanation that which part or which section he can refer to while answering the question. We can just encourage reflective learning as well. We can motivate him rather than demotivating the candidate, and he just feel that he needs to get fed up from this.
Yeah. Perfect. That's great. That's good support. And coming to our last question,
Mhm.
evaluate yourself when carrying out assessments.
So first of all, whenever I'm just making an assessment decision, I have to make sure that my decision is fair,
Mm.
it's valid, then it is as per the requirements from the awarding body,
Mm.
and this decision is giving a clear and supportive type of feedback to the learner. This decision is helping the IQA and EQA as well to finalize their decision. We have to ensure, being an assessor, that how effective we are.
Yeah, and like, how do you like self-evaluate yourself? Like planning and preparation. You make sure you have your communication that's ready and stuff. So how do you plan and prepare yourself and all of that?
I didn't get the point that how what type of planning and preparation is required.
Like for example, I would ensure that assessments are all well planned and with clear outcomes, and that all the learners are involved in the planning process and tailoring assessment methods to their needs and learning styles and stuff. So this is something that you need to self evaluate, think about what you're going to do, what you do right, get feedback from the learners, and what I could improve, basically, like how could I improve, increase the use of initial and diagnostic results to better personalize assessment methods and stuff. Do you understand?
In this terms, I have to ensure that being when while I'm playing my role, I just need to
Yeah.
ensure that I'm just following the standards. So can be deadlines of submissions, and there can be review of that, and it should be clearly communicated to the concern.
Yeah, but we're all not perfect, and obviously we can sometimes lack in some situations or in some areas and stuff. So we need to kind of just make sure that we're doing everything right, and if there's something that we need to improve on, we could keep improving ourselves, because that's what it is.
Well,
We
there
should
are
keep improving
if
ourselves.
if we come in terms of examination, there can be certain points in that clear of policy, then we need to follow the professionalism, then we need to make the proper record keeping, then we need to make sure proper feedback. We have to
Mm,
ensure engagement in terms of response and feedback to IQA and to the
yeah,
learner. So
yeah,
all these are the requirements which are expected from an assessor.
yeah. Okay, so that comes to the end of our professional discussion. You did really well. You answered all your questions well. Thank you for being here, for taking time out, and all the best.
Thank you very much, madam.
No worries. So I'll see you later, okay? I'm going to
Okay.
stop recording now. Okay, bye bye. Thank you.